to question 19. Call on the Honourable Member for Arbory, Castletown, Malew, Mr Glover.
Thank you, Mr President. Seek leave to ask the Minister for Justice and Home Affairs further to her answer to question 2 in Tynwald on the 19th of October 2021, when implementation plans will be published for the Domestic Abuse Act 2020, the Sexual Offences and Obscene Publications Act 2021 and the Justice Reform Act 2021.
Minister for Justice and Home Affairs to reply.
Thank you, Mr President, and I'd like to thank the Honourable Member for Arbory, Castletown and Malew for his question, which allows me to update Honourable Members. Honourable Members may recall in my answer in October, I explained that each Act requires substantial amounts of secondary legislation and guidance to enable implementation. Detailed engagement is also required with the agencies responsible for areas of operational delivery, and each Act requires input and preparation, mainly from the same groups of stakeholders, namely the Constabulary, Prosecution Team, General Registry and Courts, and DHSE and Manx Care. I'd also referenced in October my intention that the Criminal Justice Board would consider and make recommendations to me regarding prioritisation and effective implementation. The Criminal Justice Board met in December to discuss internal stakeholder consultation and consider some draft implementation plans which have been prepared by the Department for the Domestic Abuse Act 2020, the Sexual Offences and Obscene Publications Act 2021 and the Justice Reform Act 2021. We are currently awaiting feedback from key stakeholders across government departments and agencies on those draft plans. Following this, we expect to be able to finalise and publish by March, and I intend to invite Honourable Members to a briefing to present those implementation plans and to answer any questions on the detail of those implementation plans. I also referenced in my answer in October that to support the work to implement the Domestic Abuse Act, a project coordinator role was being advertised. I'm delighted that the Department has now appointed an individual to that role with an intended start date of early February. Thank you, Mr President.
Supplementary, Mr Glover.
Thank you, Mr President, and thank you very much to the Minister for that very comprehensive update. And the reason for bringing the question, obviously, the Domestic Abuse Act has 2020 on it, as opposed to 2021 for the other two, and I've heard some really shocking stories about domestic abuse in the last 3 months, and really am committed to seeking urgency, particularly on that, and I hope the Minister will take that on board and have it as a top priority as we move into the new year. Thank you.
You wish to reply to that, Minister?
Thank you, Mr President. I'm not sure there's a question, but thank you for your thanks, Honourable Member, and absolutely I see this as a very, very important piece of work, and I am fully committed to driving its implementation.